Hey folks, this is Alfred. Um, Clockwork Empires Revision 35D was released like very recently, like yesterday I think it was. So I've just been fooling around with it. Um, I might do a larger sort of playthrough thing when version 36 hits, which should be like another few days or so. But in the meantime, I think my test colony is in a good position to try for another Fishman Transformation. Got the lab up and running, and this time I built a vacuum chamber. Although I've got a Fishman invasion going on somewhere. Oh. I see one of my aristocrats is walking around with a Fishman. Well, okay. Don't get distracted. So this time, my plea will be to the Proto-Celtic Sumerian deity Crom. Alright, Crom dwells on a great mountain and cares little if men live or die. Better to be silent than to call his attention to you. So Crom, I have never prayed to you before, but valor pleases Crom. So grant me one request. Crom, grant me a Fishman transformation. And if you do not listen, then to hell with you. So as we can see here on my commodities list, at one point I actually dug up an idol of Quaggarath. So with the idol in my possession and a completed lab with research equipment, I can now assign a work crew here, Mr. Orsburns. Right, and now I have a scientist and lab assistants, and hopefully, let's see if I can find them on the, there we go. Mr. Orsburn, here he is. He's admiring the vacuum chamber, as would I. This thing was hellishly expensive to build. I had to take like several material drops in a row to get all the like finished metal parts and glass and things. Actually, the in 35D, material costs have been added to the blueprint of workshops as well. So if I mouse over them, you can see how much they cost. So buildings, instead of just costing just planks, now they cost, well, the lab is a bad example. It's higher in the tech tree, so it costs a lot of stuff. But you can see it needed brick and glass and iron sheets and planks. Whereas this mine needed a whole bunch of planks and stone. And this carpentry, which is the very first thing I built, needed stone and planks. Now, logs. Now, this has been considered in that your starting drops are more plentiful, so you get more stuff. So the devs are constantly adjusting game balance. So compared to the state of the game when it first entered early access, for instance, trees take longer to chop, but they also yield up relatively more logs. And same with rhyolite nodes. But in the second part of that is that everything costs more to build. So they kind of balance each other. Alright, I waited a little bit. I've got the game paused here, by the way. And nobody was doing any research. So what I've done is I've changed the permissions for the work group that includes the scientists. Right, you can see here I've disabled all jobs for them except for workshop jobs. Right, it's lighter color, so it's enabled. And what this means is they will not do anything else but research. Now, what I'm hoping is that it's possible to research with the vacuum chamber complete, but without the macroscope. Last time we tried this, they went to the macroscope first. So I'm hoping it's possible to research with either one. I guess we'll see. If it turns out that's not the case, I may actually have to build the macroscope first. Oh, I think he's doing something. Orsburn is admiring the vacuum chamber. Nope, false alarm. So it's nighttime of the 9th day, I think, since my colony landed. Well, my lead scientist is still spending a great deal of time admiring the fine implements of science. And one of his lab assistants is pondering the wonders of science in a mine shaft. The other 2 lab assistants have been sleeping, I think. So nothing to report yet. But the idol of Quaggaroth waits and watches. So at this point, I think I have to focus on getting the macroscope completed. And I happen to know, I'm having a bit of trouble with the tooltips here, but the macroscope has all requisite materials present except for 1 glass. Glass requires sand, which then has to be smelted into glass at a ceramics workshop where I've got the glass planes queued up, but I don't have any sand. So rather than search out a body of water in the hopes that I'll get sand, I've actually completed a mine here. And I have miners assigned, so they're randomly pulling up stuff out of the earth. And if any of it's sand, it gets smelted into glass, which subsequently gets used in this macroscope. So I've got a favor from the Empire. I'm going to take building materials, and if I'm lucky, one of the things will be glass. It is not. Oh well. There's always next time. This looks promising. It's one of the new events in 35D. Suspicious goods. A shady-looking character is willing to donate stuff to my colony at the cost of 1 prestige, as long as I don't ask any questions. It fell off the back of a Zeppelin. Yeah, maybe some glass fell off the back of a Zeppelin. Maybe it hasn't been implemented in the game yet. I can't see where it appeared. We have glass. I think it actually, when you get the Shady Goods event, I think it just straight up appears in your stockpile. Right, so now Minerva Sander has grabbed the glass out of the stockpile, and now we've completed the macroscope. Now it's time for research. Hopefully. Oh, what's happening? Who is this? Let's make sure we give Elvira Solderson, a lab assistant, is about to take the idol Quaggaroth to the macroscope for research. Hopefully Crom has heeded my pleas. I guess can't rush science. No! Ah. I guess that's still broken. Well, can't say we didn't give it our best. No, she's going back. It's gonna be a thing where she just turns around and takes it right back to the stockpile? Yes, it is. Well. Well, that was attempt number 2.